All right.
Hi everyone, welcome to the stream. We're going to be talking a little bit about tips and tricks for using OBS and streaming and videoing in general on YouTube. With me today I've got Peter, going to go for it. Hi Peter. Scientist Mel. Critical Cripple, Dave. The lovely Notch Witness.
Hello.
And the even more lovely Navadia. Hey, Mary.
Hello. It's my fault. Yeah, I'm assuming not.
Yeah, it's not your fault, Mero.
Always.
So sorry for the bit of the gap between the ending run of the credits and when we actually started, but Mary sort of jumped in right at the end of the credits because she's been incredibly busy this morning. And I had to give her time to settle and get everything sorted in the background before we actually went live. So it's fine, but it's not her fault. Stuff happens, and well, I figured a big blank screen look more professional than us babbling in the background.
No babbling in the background is always fun.
People love. I think that's why people tune in. Isn't it, Notcha? They just tune in to watch us babble.
A lot of the time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Notcha, out of curiosity, are you currently playing that, or is that just something you recorded?
Yep, this is live. No, this is live.
Oh, so you get a double benefit.
That's why I'm crashing so much, because I'm not really paying attention.
I was just going to say he's just not going to pay any attention to us. He's just going to be here.
So basically, everyone, if this gets boring, just watch Notcha play. I'll just full screen Notcha and you can just watch him play, and it can become a gaming stream. So
yeah,
it's actually quite impressive how much he wrecks. I mean, I find that quite impressive.
Oh yeah, no, it's because I sort of pick a direction and then I stop looking, and I just every now and then I notice myself on the chat screen. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna crash, or I have crashed, and you know.
I find it quite impressive how he finds games with cars that don't actually exist.
Yeah.
And now you've crashed.
Now, for example, you've got no wheel.
You didn't hit anything.
I know, that's the thing. I didn't even hit. It's just bouncing down the street going too fast. So.
And we're all sidetracked by watching Notcha play video games.
Yeah, now we're all watching me. Hey, well, but this is what you can do, kids, with OBS.
Yeah.
Are you using OBS right now?
Yeah, this is running through OBS on the Manicam because it's basically running it a lot smoother than trying to push the game straight into Manicam.
Why are you running it on Manicam?
Because you gave me Manicam.
Well,
you advised me that it was a good idea. Yeah, your advice, sir.
And look
go for it,
Mr.
I know everything and all the best ideas.
And
then you tried to give me the paid version, and it didn't work. And I had to uninstall the whole fucking Manicam and start it again.
Do you want to show? What you're again, Peter? I'll present you full screen.
So what you're saying, Nacho, is that you need to get rid of Manicam and just be using OBS.
Yes, you can use OBS as a virtual camera, which is what I'm doing now.
Mm.
Well, in fairness, I only started doing this like last night because it was a last minute
in fairness, you're just lazy. In fairness,
well, that's true too. I'm not denying that. I'll work that out later, though. I can't be fucked doing it right now.
Look, all those cars don't exist.
That's always fun. So, I mean, we all started out like everybody else does on YouTube, being told to grab OBS.
And there's basically being bumbling buffoons trying to get it right.
I mean, occasionally you found somebody who had a little bit of knowledge. For me, originally, that was Ozman, and later on Bullinator, and then Peter's helped out a bit as well, and I think Dave and I have nutted out things between us at various times.
I have to admit, the moment you came up with this, I actually started looking on websites, on the OBS website, to see what is available and what can you use to improve your live streams. And I should have done this
a long
a
time ago.
year ago, I think. So
Nice, Peter. Nice.
I found a lot of cool stuff. So one of the things that I'm really proud of is my current camera. I have a DSLR camera now, which isn't a DSLR camera.
Is it mirrorless?
It's just my normal webcam.
Oh, okay.
There's just a few tips and tricks so you can improve your camera, and you can improve your green screen if you're struggling with, as I do, with the light. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Lighting is the worst thing for anyone who ever wants to do green screen. Getting a consistent tone of color across a green screen without correct lighting is very, very hard. And the worst thing is, as soon as you add extra lighting, you've got more shadows.
It's not hard. If you know how to do it, it's not hard.
Well, if you know how to do calculus, it's not hard.
Yeah, exactly.
That is a good point, Mel.
Well, so I could explain what I did, because my green screen was terrible, and that was just because what I basically did is I added my camera to the scene, and then applied green screen.
Which is, I think, how all of us do it, isn't it?
Yeah, and apparently there's a much better way to do it.
Oh, okay. So our first tip.
If you want, I can walk you through it.
Yeah. If you want
should I?
You can
should
share
I
a screen.
share?
Yeah, you can share a screen.
Okay. How do we? Wait a minute. I'm going to
down the bottom of the screen. There should be a share screen.
Yeah, but I need to move you over so I can see.
Nacho, that was just pure talent there, Nacho. That was just.
Yeah, I was hoping I could flip it back on.
I think I'll just full screen Nacho, and we'll just all sit here and comment on him playing a game.
Yeah, while Peter is trying to find what he's trying to find, just full screen Nacho, and just.
You're aware that right now that's the majority of Nacho's channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's a lazy
I have a Twitch
bastard.
channel now for this.
Okay.
I'm not putting this stuff on YouTube anymore.
All right. So
this stuff no longer belongs on my YouTube channel, but I will put it on other people's.
You got a lot of tabs open, Peter.
He's doing,
I do.
He's doing proper YouTube science.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, that's true.
Why isn't my OBS showing? Hold on.
You set the wrong screen.
Apparently, I shared the wrong screen. There we go. This should be it.
There we go.
And
Okay.
what's an OBS?
What's an OBS? An open broadcast streaming thing. And they forgot to add the T. So this is my setup. So at the moment, you're looking at stream output here, and this is what I have in stream output. So I have a few different backgrounds that I can choose from. So I have this one, and I can get into my spaceship and fly off and stuff like that. But here you see cam 1. And if you look closely just above, you see that cam 1 isn't actually a cam, it's a scene. Mm-hmm. So I'll switch over to cam 1. This is cam 1. And cam 1 has two things. It has my camera and it has a green screen just for me to check stuff. Mm-hmm. So what you want to do is you take your camera, let me go over here, and you go into filters. And as you can see now, it is completely off. Because what I have done, I have adjusted the colors to bring up the colors a lot. So you will really get a real green screen behind you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that now the colors are completely off because we're going to correct that later. Then you go into your chroma key settings, which you can play around with so you can have the perfect green screen. First, what you want to do is the tolerance. So mine is in Dutch. I tried to get it in English. I have no clue why that's not working. But so this is the main thing you play around with. If you have a good lighting, you can play with the flow as well a little bit. So once you've got the background removed completely, then you can close this up, have the camera, and then what you want to do is go into the scenes. And as you can see here, I have another color correction filter applied. With that, I bring back the colors to pretty much normal. And so that is what we're going to use as a camera. I sent
Pete, can I interrupt? Sorry. What do you have physically behind you? Is it a green screen?
It's just a piece of cheap green cloth, which I've hung behind me.
Okay.
Right. Can I also point out at this point, right, there is a major advantage to doing it the way you're doing it. In OBS, you cannot set separate filters on a camera. So if you've got different scenes, you can't have different filters on a camera.
What? Hold on.
If you have it in a scene that you embed in other scenes, that can have different filters per scene.
I wish I thought of doing that because that solves a heap of problems.
Let me bring this up. I have two filters on my camera.
Yes.
So you can have
those two things, right? If you put your camera into another scene now, those two filters will be there. But if you put your embedded scene into another camera, you can add more filters that wouldn't be applied to other scenes.
Well, the only thing that I'm doing with this is basically I'm making it so my green screen will be a lot better. So my hair is kind of fluffy, so that's not going to go away because that's just the light reflecting off of it. But what you can do is you bring up the colors, which will bring up the color of your green screen, and it will be easier to remove the green screen from your camera. So there, I sent Jen all the links.
The links are all in the description.
The tutorial for this, the extended tutorial for this, will be in the description as well.
Yeah.
But it just gives you a better look. Another thing that I've done with this is if this is now my stream output, and if you go into filters here, you see that I've applied a LUT. A LUT is a color filter.
Yeah.
And there are several different color filters available. Let me see. I did get that. So here's my collection of LUTs. So you can see that the camera settings on each are the same. Just by applying the filter, you will get a different color spectrum that your camera will be having. Mm-hmm. So for mine, I took this one, which is closest to a DSLR camera as far as I can see, and I just applied that to my Cam 1 scene, and that just brings out the quality a lot more.
Certainly makes the tones look better.
Yes,
because that's one of the things you struggle with a webcam is getting good color tone.
Yeah, I also applied it to our studio, and I can actually show you. Let's go to filters. So this was the original, and this is with the filter applied. It gives you a little bit more professional camera look.
Yeah.
So those are just a few things that you can do to just improve your camera.
Yeah. I never ever thought of actually creating a scene for the webcam and then inserting the scene into a scene.
I hadn't either. So I have to thank you for that, because you made me go and look for all videos.
But it'll solve a lot of problems for me because my solution to that was to actually run 2 copies of OBS at the same time.
Yeah.
So I actually mess with my camera in one OBS and then share that out to another copy and run a running copy of OBS on one machine. But that's a lot. That's very resource intensive compared to doing it that way.
Yeah. So and maybe Nacha, you might want to pay attention to the following thing that I've got, because
this is going to be interesting watching his gaming now. So.
Nacha produces stuff, and so Mel does as well. I already showed Mel this. Not sure how it's going to pop up. So, but this is my old mobile phone, which is now my Stream Deck. So if I push buttons on this, I can just change the screens. I can walk around. I can do pretty much whatever I want to do. And another thing that this will do is it lets me pop up little gadgets like down below here, the like and subscribe thingy. I can just have that pop up whenever I want it. What I need to know is I need to remind myself that I need to shut it down as well. The fun thing is that if you will click this and go to a different scene, it will still play in the different scene.
Nice.
If you do it correctly.
How are you displaying that?
So So there's a little trick, because the same goes for the ticker on the bottom. So if you look on the bottom, I've got a ticker. If you were to switch screen, the ticker would start over again every time. As you can see, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Are you embedding another scene again?
Yeah, my tickers don't start over again either.
Yeah, mine don't.
Yeah,
That's like the only thing that was technical that I did well on mine. Everything else is like,
the only way to do that, and that is it's really quite easy. If you set it up in one scene and then copy it from there and paste it as a reference, it will go back to the original scene to see where we're at this point in display. So it will bring the display over to another scene.
Yeah.
Will not start over the thing that you just added.
The biggest thing with anything like that is if you've already created it in one scene within that particular production that you're doing, you really shouldn't recreate it again. You should be making copies of the things you've already created. For exactly this reason that Peter says is that that it keeps track of where everything is and keeps them in the same link. So if you're swapping between scenes, things stay consistent. And that's really important to make your production look reasonable. I mean, for a lot of the streams we do, it's just you're running your pre-rolls and running your introductions and then just grabbing people and putting them up on the display. But if you want your fancy graphics around it, I know this one doesn't have a lot of that, but mostly because I wanted people to be able to share screens so we could show stuff to each other. If you want your fancy graphics around things and you want it to actually look professional and look nice, then you've got to keep consistency between the frames, because if you swap between them for different looks for different areas, you need to keep everything the same to a certain degree. Now I finished.
Okay. I think that's basically what I can show now. There are a few other tips that I found, how to improve your microphone sound, stuff like that, how to get your settings correct. All of those tutorials I sent to Jen.
Yeah,
and
they're all in the description.
In the description.
Yeah.
So, so that was my little presentation. I'll stop.
Cool. Did anyone in the chat have any questions for Peter on that?
Can
you repeat it all? I wasn't listening.
Yeah. Actually, Actually, how did you set up the your phone thing going?
So that is a free app. Also, the links will be down in the description. I tried out 3 at the moment. One I couldn't get to work at all. The second one, who I thought would be better than the one that I have right now, kept crashing on my phone. So no clue why that is. This is an app that is called, and I keep forgetting that, it's called Touch Portal. It's a free app you can download on an Android or an iPhone.
Yeah.
And you can get up to 16 buttons that you can assign yourself. You can make little pictures to give the buttons your own specific look, the way that I did it. You can assign commands to everything. You can not only use it for OBS, but you can also start and stop any application on your computer. You can set it up to that's what I removed, start and stop streaming, because if you accidentally touch stop streaming, then your stream will be gone. So I didn't want to have that on here. That's one thing that I wanted to keep manually, so I don't if I should accidentally touch a button just like this, nothing serious will happen. And but it is when you're producing a show, it is really easy, because you can just walk around. You can even go sit outside and still produce the show while you're listening. You know which screens you have under the different buttons or pop-up thingies that you want to add into, or sounds. You can do whatever you want.
How does it connect? Does it connect through internet, or?
What you do is you download a desktop version. That's where you assign all your buttons. That's where you assign pictures to your buttons. You can assign text to them. Pretty much whatever you want to do. You can just have plain colors if you like. You can adjust the colors. That's what you do on your desktop. Then you download the app onto your phone, and that will automatically connect with the thing on your desktop, and that is just through the internet, through Wi-Fi. In my case.
So I really need to actually buy Wi-Fi now, aren't I? I use my mobile phone internet, and honestly, that's more trustworthy than actual Wi-Fi. But anyway, I'll go on. That's a completely different conversation.
The point is, if your computer is connecting through your phone, it would be able to connect fine.
Yeah, no, but I've only get 60 gigs a month, and I'm less than a month halfway through the month, and I've done over 30 gigs already. So it's the amount of internet is the problem.
Yeah. I think that's the problem for everyone, isn't it?
And also when you're streaming on OBS, it is better to have a wired connection than do it through Wi-Fi. So having an actual internet connection in your house would be better than doing it through your phone.
But it's so expensive.
Really? You have this wonderful national broadband network.
Yeah, you're talking about Australia, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like $100 a month for ADSL2 unlimited, where I get 60 gigs of fast internet, and then the rest of it is slow internet using my mobile phone for $45 a month.
Mm.
So,
damn, I pay 35, I think, 35 euros a month.
That's still about 90 Australian dollars, though.
And that is including cable TV and a phone landline.
It depends which footprint you're in. Are you actually in NBN footprint? Mary, you should be by now.
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
I am. I
so
think
you'd
it
be
is.
Able to you'd be able to get unlimited data on your NBN at
yeah,
with the 50 megabit
Yeah,
link.
but
So.
the problem is the price.
Yeah.
Spending $150 a month on my mobile phone is just for me, and I rarely get through 60 gigs. The only reason why I've gotten so much is I've had to do a lot of phone calls and stuff over the past couple of days with talking to people. So, this is unusually high internet consumption for me because, yay, the virus.
Well, and that's also what I kept in mind when looking for links. Everything that I found is completely free. Everything you can download is completely free. So
now there is a few things that you can't do with OBS easily that you can do, like if you're just, I mean, a lot of people just stream just directly with, say, StreamYards, which is great when you're just starting because you can just add people in and it does everything. It creates a stream for you. You don't have to mess around in YouTube, and you just create the stream. You can pop up people's chats when they say it and everything like that. But of course, all those streams look exactly the same. They all look like you're using StreamYards. And you usually have the logoing of StreamYards as well. So
Yeah.
actually, there is another option. I shared it with Nacho a while ago. I don't think he's ever gotten to it to check it out. I haven't either. So there is a web-based version of something like OBS that has not only OBS, but it also has what we're doing here on StreamYard. So you can bring in guests, and it's all browser-based. It will you have the ability to add lower thirds, add logos, whatever you want to do. But I haven't had time to check.
It's still, I doubt, as a web interface would still not be quite as versatile. I mean, there are things that you can do with OBS, especially with like webhooks and stuff like that, so that you can.
They say that pretty much everything you can do in OBS, you should be able to do that.
Well, that could be interesting too.
But I haven't tried it out. It's also free. I did check it out because it had the ability to bring in guests in the browser software included. Recently, I got a way to bring in guests that I think is, for now at least, the best thing that is available. Although it's not available, but
don't share it.
That makes sense.
I got the best way to bring in guests, but it's not available.
Yeah, a secret thing that I can't tell you about that I've got. It's awesome, but I'm not going to share it with you.
So
is it because it's not available?
That's the reason why I haven't checked out that other thing. I'm really happy with the setup that I have now. It does pretty much everything that I needed to do, and obviously that's different for different people because
well, we all do streams differently.
Yes.
I mean,
I do stuff completely different than what Peter does. So.
Yeah, well, I think that would probably be the same for all of us. I mean, the basics of operating OBS and getting the simple things, we'd all more or less do the same. If we wanted the chat scrolling on the video screen like I've got in this stream, we'd all be doing it the same way. We'd all be grabbing the filters and putting the filters in and to get the chat going, rather than write. I mean, you don't have to write your own. Actually, putting the chat in nicely on the screen is actually pretty simple. There's a really nice website which I did not put the link in the description, which actually lets you visually create how you want your chat to look, and you just grab and paste the code. And you can
I did that with my the one that you told me about.
Yeah.
I've dropped in the code, but it doesn't come up.
It doesn't?
Which is weird. No. Because remember when I did the interview with... it had that code in there, but it...
Did you put the link to the chat?
I put the link to the chat and everything. It just didn't...
Where did you grab the link from the chat from? Because if you grab it from if you grab it from the studio screen where you've got the chat in the studio, it doesn't work. You have to grab it actually from the web page, or the popped out one from the actual stream itself.
Okay, well that would explain it.
Yeah,
because
I don't know why. I haven't looked through the CSS stuff to figure out why it doesn't work. But I mean, in all honesty, given that the code's auto-generated from that site and it's such an easier way of getting it looking nice, I just don't worry. I'm not going to modify the code each time. Sorry, Mel.
It's okay. I see Nerdy Rodent is talking about stream elements. I use that. If you guys want a little bit of information,
go for it.
So I can show you what I do. Let me pull up. So let me switch cameras because I've got my OBS over here. So I have a couple of cameras. So this one is my nicer camera. Let me use this one.
Mel has a really good setup at the moment.
That's broken.
She'll be back.
Yeah.
No.
I think that's the advantage of using the virtual webcam. It doesn't break other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I've now just tested
talking.
that on. I just tested that on my OBS, and it's coming up.
Yeah.
Okay.
As
So if I can share screens, I can show you,
you can share a
what
screen.
Stream Elements does. Let my OBS load. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so this is kind of my setup for my show. I have an animated background here. In my bottom right corner, this is where my chat is. I use Restream, but I also stream to several different platforms. I stream to YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, DLive, and Facebook. And so for me, I've got my stream code, and as far as my key and my URL that you put in for. Let's see. This is the wrong profile. This one. Okay. So if you check out settings, where's my settings? It's behind my camera. There it is. So for when you're streaming and you're using OBS, so I use Restream. I can connect my account here, and it automatically gets the URL as well as the key, which is really nice. So it's pretty seamless. So for this background, though, I put it together using Stream Elements. It's not, it doesn't use so much of the resources as it would on your computer. So let me type in Stream Elements, and I'm going to show you how I put that together. My overlay. So I have a couple of overlays. So someday it will load. All right, so if you're not familiar with Stream Elements, you can put together your entire thing. Well, that's nice. How about I log in? It's been a while since I've used it. And once you set it up, you just put it into your OBS as a URL, as a background. Okay.
Oh, okay, and it just it loads it as a web page.
Yeah, it loads it as a web page, but it's really cool. So I'll show you a couple ones that I've got. Golly, taking forever. Okay, so here we go. So I've been building another chemistry course for somebody. So you can set it up to where the overlay resolution.
Yeah.
So you can set up to however much you want. If you want 1080p, 1440, and then you can click on edit here, the overlay editor.
Yeah.
So this background. So I've got several different widgets here. I got a widget that kind of keeps up with the different currency, like who all super chatted me, if anybody donated through Streamlabs, anything like that. I've got my logos. Here's merch from my store. And you can also upload a video to the background here. Now, on my other setup, I've got the video looped on Streamlabs, But you can actually, leave. You can actually upload a video to it. I just haven't done a whole lot with that. Okay. I just haven't done a whole lot with that because of the fact that, oh, okay. So I was doing another demonstration. So for this one, here's the logo here. I've got another logo here. There's me when PZ Myers was on my show. And then I've got this really cool chemistry background.
That is very cool.
That is.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Mara's
So
gonna nick that.
It's so pretty. I don't know. Is it weird that I actually find like these skeletons to be really, really exciting and stuff?
No, I don't think
Whenever
so.
I hear the words hydrogen bonding, I'm like, ooh, interesting stuff's about to be talked about.
yeah,
Sorry.
you got something going on right there.
You got me
I know. Look
bonding.
at that. Oh wow.
I know. Hey, so
Look at that, Amy.
it's pretty cool. So you've got all of these different things that you can do and that you can add as far as widgets. If you have a countdown or if there's a tip goal that you want to add, subscriber goal. And this all is just kind of incorporated into your editor. So so you can move this around. If I don't like it there, I can move it here.
Yeah.
And then I can save it. And so if I want to launch it, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to open it in a new tab. And so all you do is you take that link and you post it as a URL. So for like this, I've got, so here's my overlay right here. So there's my URL and there it is for my show. And it comes up as this. And it'll edit it in real time. And so like this overlay, I just kind of nicked off of YouTube where it said free background animations. And I'm like, I need that one.
They're always handy.
Put it right down there. So it works out. So that's how I got that one. Now the other overlays I have Peter to thank for that, for like my show This Week in BS. So that's more like this here. Now I use Zoom. I don't use StreamYards. I use Zoom for my stuff. And so I can do a window capture and put it over here and filter my sound through my desktop and pick that up. So so that would be for that one. But also the other cool thing.
Mel, can I add a little thing to what you're showing now?
Sure.
Okay, so I make those for Mel, and just to have them user friendly, is I add in a little green screen. So where Mel is, there's a little green screen, so you can have video with a green screen on it. Mm-hmm. And that will allow you to put the camera behind your backdrop. So you don't have to fiddle around to get everything fitting into the screen. Mm-hmm. You can just roughly have it in the right size and move it around because it's going to be behind your backdrop. So the other parts won't show up. Right. I think that's a lot easier than if you have something like this where it has two distinct displays. If you would want to fiddle your video feed from StreamYard or Zoom into that particular window, it's going to take you a lot of time. Yeah. Now all you need to do is grab a particular piece you want to have displayed, put it behind, and enlarge it so it fills up the entire screen, and you're done. It's a lot easier than doing it in front of your backdrop. So it's what you're doing with the green screen basically is the same thing as you would do with a transparent PNG or a GIF as a backdrop.
Yeah. Yes. So another thing that I do, I often use PowerPoint in my stuff because as a science communicator, I and trying to help other people learn how to incorporate a lot of this technology because a lot of pretty much all of academia is moving online. And so I've been really busy trying to help people take all of this stuff and make it accessible to professors. Let me tell you, I sat on a Zoom call with about 60 PhDs It wasn't even Zoom. It was Microsoft Teams. It was a riot hearing them go, who's still got their mic on? No. We can't see the whiteboard. And so it's a lot of fun. But, fortunately, I was able to help them out a little bit. But I want to kind of show you. Let's see. Hold on. Let me get this. So let me just pull this one up. Not that one. Hold on. There we go. So if I was like giving a talk and I would be like, hey, look, today I'm going to talk about epigenetics. I've incorporated just pretty much my larger monitor right here. So I have 2 monitors I'm working with, and I've got my PowerPoint set onto like a slideshow type of format. So I can put animated GIF images in PowerPoint and it shows up. And I'm like, okay, guys, we're going to talk about epigenetics. What are we going to cover? Well, that would be my script, and you don't want to see that. So if I was doing like a script, instead of that, I would just switch to camera and I'm like, okay, so there's a lot of information available on the topic of epigenetics. There are a lot of misconceptions. So I've got like my script on my monitor, but whenever I'm ready to go to the next slide, I'm like, let's dive in a little bit deeper with this. So what exactly are we going to talk about? If this will show up again. What is it? How does it work? What factors play a role? And how is it used in research? I'm so excited about epigenetics, guys, and I'm glad I get to share this with you today. So it's like you can kind of just go into it, and so that's quite useful. Now on my this one, I think I don't have, that's if I would know the dot cam or something. And that's okay. So this would be like on my science show. And then under here is my Restream chat. So you remember I mentioned that I use Restream and it beams it out to all of those different things. Well, Restream has a chat function where all of those chats are brought to one window for me. And
that's cool.
That right there just by putting the URL for it. So they all pop up. They all can see each other's chat. I even have a Restream bot that'll post other people's chats from different platforms, like onto YouTube. It works onto Periscope. Sometimes it works on Periscope. It can go onto Facebook. So it's kind of neat for everybody to be able to see each other's chats. And so it's kind of cool. But yeah, so I can.
Does it differentiate between platforms? So if it's like YouTube and then somebody might respond from Facebook or something like that?
It does. It actually does differentiate between them, and it'll say, Periscope or Twitch, and you can hook up your Discord to it as well. So anybody who's on Discord talking to you can talk to you through that as well. So and you may not want to stream to all those platforms, but Restream is free. So if you're already on Twitter, you can hook up your Periscope. I actually started on Periscope. I didn't start on YouTube. YouTube was much later. I had been streaming on Facebook and Periscope for a while. And people were like, you should do YouTube. And I'm like, okay. And the people are like, you should do Twitch. I'm like, okay. And have you heard about DLive? I'm like, fine. So just throw them all on there. No matter to me.
That's cool. That's really cool. So that kind of also gives you an opportunity to attach more people, right? And reach more people. Cool.
Exactly. So that's what I do. So yes, I'm not exclusively on YouTube, but I'm not trying to be massive on one platform. My goal is to make science accessible as many places as I can. And so I'll get lots of views on Periscope and some views on YouTube. And sometimes I get more views on YouTube and not as many as Periscope. But the idea is not about trying to be successful in one thing. It's just trying to make science readily available in as many places as I can. But that's my goal.
And you think you do a good job
that's good.
Mel, while you're sharing the screen,
yes.
Do you still have the Audacity scenes?
Not on this one.
Shit.
Going back to what Mel said before, anyone who's watching this later or in the chat now, if you're going to do a lot of producing either of your own shows or if you're doing anybody else's, 2 monitors is basically a must. It is very, very hard to use OBS without 2 monitors.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I agree. The second monitor is a savior for me.
Yeah.
So if you're going to use, I need to go back and see what the hell it was called. If you use the touch portal that I have on the phone, then you wouldn't actually need two screens because you can run OBS in the background and still switch scenes and have the one screen that you have, use that for other things.
Well, that is true. So that you can actually save yourself a bit of a hassle.
Yeah.
My problem with that is usually when I'm doing stuff, I'm actually using more than just OBS and YouTube and the chat functions. So if I'm trying to keep track of the chat as well and doing other things, I run out of screen space really, really quickly. So I don't think even with the portal controller, whilst that's going to be awesome for like popping up sounds or swapping between scenes, is much better than trying to click on OBS. I still think two monitors is certainly very useful, at least.
Another thing I found, and that's going to excite, I think, you and Dave a little bit more, is that you can run OBS on two computers. Have one computer do the processing, and another one controlling the stream. So that will take the load off of your main computer. But I don't actually have a use for that because mine is still running well.
I don't have a problem with the speed of my
I hardly ever get any drop frames. So for me, it would just be a lot of extra cost that I don't really need.
Yeah, well, for me, during this stream, I have dropped 0 frames, so...
Yeah.
So I don't see much point for me in having...
Oh, and there's another thing. Another thing that is free because of Corona. You can actually use your smartphone as a webcam. There is
I saw that.
It's what it's called. It's called an NDI server webcam. I don't know.
The only problem I'd have with that is that I've noticed that the NDI in OBS is very kludgy.
I don't know. So I've seen people use it, and it seems to be working great. So I put the links in there. They recently scrubbed the Android version. I did a search on YouTube, and I think I found a link where it's still available for Android as well. The iPhone version is available from the people who created it. I have no clue why they scrubbed the Android version because they're giving it out free until June. So if you want to use that, make sure that you have that. Once you have it on one device, you can transfer it to different devices. So after June, if you should get a new phone, you can still transfer it to a different device if you already have it downloaded as an app on one of your devices.
Yeah, I've just been fiddling around. You know how with the chat you can pop it out, put the URL.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd pop it back in. I'm just on your live chat, and I've just popped it back into your thing, and it's still coming up and refreshing on OBS. Just letting you know. So if that makes sense. So I popped it out, got the URL, put it in the live chat on my OBS. Then I popped it back in, and it's still updating. So anyway, just thought you'd like to know. Interesting piece of information.
I mean, one of the things that Dave and I have been looking at doing, and Dave's got a version sort of working for him at the moment, but I'm writing some code to make something nicer, is to do the highlighted chats like you have if somebody streams off StreamYards, you can click on somebody's chat and it highlights it, and it can do extra functions like that. I know there are other ways of doing that with some of the things with with OBS, but most of them are not satisfactory. Yeah, Dave's flicking in and out at the moment. With that, so where is he? Mate, Dave solo.
Who do that?
So that sort of thing, like you have with StreamYards.
Yeah.
And but it's a Dave's solution that he's got at the moment is pretty good, except it involves you having to have your own web server at your place, and not everyone would be actually capable of setting it up for themselves.
Not me.
The program I'm in the process of coding, and most of the code's there. It's the front end interface that I haven't done yet because I want it to be nice and everything for people. So, actually, scrapes the data out of the chat so that it gets everything, like when people do super chats and stuff like that. It will create a chat thing just like we've got with the current CCS scripts, but you'll be able to completely define how you want that to look. It'll come as a capturable screen or you can actually just grab the JPEG file that it will create and post it as an image within OBS, because it can grab it each time it's updated. So OBS will automatically update, but it'll also make the pop-up chats. It'll also do automatic pop-ups if somebody does a super chat. It'll also play sounds on certain things. So if somebody does a super chat, it might play a sound so that you know that there's been a super chat, or so that the stream knows that somebody did it nice and do it nice. Like I said, it's not all finished yet, mostly because I was sick and everything, so my coding sort of went down the gurgler. But yeah,
I have something that does that, but I do it through I do it through Streamlabs.
Yeah.
So I can show you what mine look like. Let me.
I was going to say that because it's one of the tutorials that the links are down there.
Yeah.
All the Streamlabs functions you can actually use in regular OBS.
You can?
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me get my alert box. I'm gonna launch an alert box here. So
yeah, Nerdy's saying vMix Social. I have yet to see how that actually vMix Social links in properly with OBS. Nerdy?
Let's see. Do you want me to share my screen really quickly, and you can kind of? Okay. Let me see. I'm gonna share screen. I'll share this one. Application window. Application window. That's easier. Okay. So here we go. I'm gonna test a few of these. So here's a super chat. I don't know if you guys can hear it though. Oh, is that not?
You have to share it with audio.
Okay, let me stop sharing.
And I don't think you can share a window with audio. You actually have to share a whole screen, which is annoying.
That's okay. I can do that. Share screen, share audio. I'll just share this whole window. Okay, so here we go. Let me pull this up. Okay, that was late. There's Einstein doing kung fu.
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
And then here's
That is cool.
Here's Einstein fighting Marie Curie.
Go Marie, go Marie.
Here's a member. I don't know. That didn't pop up. I'm gonna have to. Here's the super chat.
That's brilliant.
And Stephen Hawking having a go. And then let's see. There's Tesla. So these are all different things that you can do. And so essentially, when you go on to Streamlabs, and it's free. This is a free option. You can go on to Streamlabs and you go under your alert box. And you can pretty much dictate what your GIF is. That you can put a GIF here. They have standard GIF that you can pick. You can pick what kind of sound you want. And and you can do that for any.
Can you make your own sound?
You should be able to upload it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you should be able to
Cool.
upload. I was able to upload this, so.
Yeah, because if it was going to be anything like I'd have like a bit or something like that because
Oh,
my
No, I made you two. They're in the DM on Twitter.
So Mel, with
really?
that, can you actually highlight a chat if you see it in the chat?
Now someone is going to
show. It'll come up and it'll say if somebody did like a chat, like a super chat, and they had some kind of message, it would come up with that and say what their message
but
is.
if you just want to pick out a certain person's chat in the chat and have it highlight it, you can't.
I don't know if it would do that.
So that was
I'm
one
not
of the
certain.
functions that Dave and I both wanted. We wanted that. There was one of the functions that you get in StreamYards which we like, although.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that if you're watching your chat and it's somebody who hasn't done a super chat or whatever, and you want to actually highlight that chat, you can actually click on it and it'll come up.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So,
you're using standard StreamYards at the moment and can demonstrate.
I can't because I'm not actually streaming with StreamYards.
No, you're right. My bad.
what Mel just talked about, that's another extended tutorial that is down in the description box. So if people want to do that,
there's lots of these very useful things that you can pull in and use together.
I need to say I forgot to add in one.
Yeah.
Because OBS also has a page with all kinds of tools, which has a search option. So if you want to look for something specific, you can go to the OBS website and find all those tools there.
Yeah. I mean, 90% of the time, if you have an idea in a stream and you think, oh, I want to do something, somebody has probably already done it. There are some things that aren't done, but you can actually do probably a good 98% of anything that you'd like to do in your stream. Now, there is a bit of messing around with that, because if you want, like, if people watching this stream, I've got that lovely little animated flower thing at the bottom, which then says what the title of the episode is and that and everything. That's actually all edited in my video editing package, and it's got a green screen around it and just inserted as the banner at the bottom as a GIF. As an not as a GIF, as an animation, as a video stream over the top of my OBS, which is how we do it. How a lot of those animated things are done by us anyway. But so occasionally you'll be using other apps if you want to get something that's unique to you. So, but you bring in elements from other things and put them together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So another thing, because you had it, I think, in the description as well.
Yeah.
Touch a little on video creation.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have the money to buy Adobe Premiere.
No.
Because it costs a lot of money. There is something that is close to that, and that is called DaVinci. DaVinci Resolve. That will set you back, I think, somewhere around $300 US, unless you want to have it for free, because then you can have it for free. And you can.
There's a magic thing that we're not allowed to know about.
No, this is actually on their website. They're giving you the option to get the free version, or you can pay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
the free
only
version is cut down though.
It's cut down a little bit, but I'm not sure if it's if there's a really big difference, because I've watched a few people, and as far as I know, they should be pretty much the same. The good part of this is that you can set up the layout the way you want it. So you can set it up as Adobe Premiere. So should you want to learn something, I think even tutorials from Adobe Premiere would work on DaVinci Resolve. The way how to install it for free is also down below and the link where you can download the software.
Yeah,
And it's a pretty powerful video editing software. So if you
there
don't
are
have
a lot. Yeah, there are a lot of other options than to go with Premiere. I mean, I use Corel Studio to do all mine because I already owned it before I started doing YouTube. So because I was doing video editing for some other people, and that's quite cheap as well. If people wanting that, it's less than $100 US at the moment, I think, for the full version.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
It is actually pretty cheap. Whilst it's missing
what I
maybe a
use as
couple
well.
of. Sorry.
That's what I use as well.
Yeah, it might be. It's missing a few of the functions of the full package, but of something like Premiere. But for what most of people would want to do, it's more than adequate for video editing. You can do all your transitions and management properly with it, so it is quite nice. It's a little slower to render because it doesn't handle multi-cores very well, but apparently the newer version is a lot better at that. But I know a lot of people use HitFilm Express as well because that's completely free and it has quite a few good functions in it for editing. So to get started with just editing videos, if you've never done it, isn't that hard. And there's a lot of people out there who'll answer questions, help to get you going. It's actually pretty simple to get in front of a webcam or your digital SLR, record yourself, get your footage onto the computer, and do a quick bit of editing just to get a first video out if you're wanting to do your first video.
Yeah, and I just remembered something. Another thing that I forgot. I have I think 5 or 6 websites where you can get free images.
Yeah.
So people who do streams on certain topics, if you go on Google and you pick your images from there, you do have the risk that you're going to get copyrighted images. I have, as I said, 5 or 6 websites that will have only copyright-free images. Maybe at times you might have to credit someone, but then it's all in the description.
Yeah.
But you can find basically everything you want on those websites. So I'll make sure to send you those links as well if you would want to add those too.
Yeah.
You should add Nerdy's links as well.
What was that, Dave?
You should add Nerdy's links as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean there are. Sorry. No.
Pete, do you also have copyright-free GIFs and stuff like that? Because my OBS, I put a GIF and I just loop that GIF. And I was wondering if you've got GIFs on that one that are copyrighted or not copyrighted.
I think there should be. I'm not entirely sure because I don't use those much myself, but I'll see what I can come up with if I can find something.
Thank you.
Yeah. Often you'll be fine with some of those things, but it is certainly a risk if you're just grabbing things and using them. There's definitely a risk that somebody's going to put a copyright claim. So you are better to look for sources that you know are going to be free and unattributable, or you have to just put in a small attribute. You don't have to pay for. One of the good sites is Pixabay. All their stuff is free. There's a couple of others out there. Same with audio. Go to the YouTube Sound Archive. There's a lot of free stuff in there. Some of it you have to attribute, but there's a lot of really good free sound effects and music in there. There's also
you do have to be careful with that though, because I know Vice Rhino got a lot of copyright strikes because he was using copyright-free GIFs, and yet another channel was using the same GIFs, and they copyright struck him for using copyright-free GIFs
Yeah.
and sound.
That's just people
So-
being jerks. You know?
Yeah,
it
that
really
is.
And you
That's
need
And-
and if you are streaming and making videos, check your creative studio all the time to make sure people haven't made claims against you.
They do that with me so often. And I'm like, there's no picture of a volcano in here. They're like, you've gotten like all kinds of stuff from, and it'll say, well, they've claimed that this portion right here has their video of a volcano. I'm like, I'm talking about genes. What's
And if you want to
I-
get an easy copyright strike, anything Disney.
Oh my God. Or use BBC and comment on anything from BBC. Anything. Doesn't matter. You could be pausing it and then talking about it. Pause, talk about it. No, that they will not allow your video to be played. That has happened to me twice.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's very
I
hard
re-
to claim back fair
recently
use.
was watching a live stream that was literally taken down by YouTube while they were streaming.
That's
because of
happened
the
to me.
strike.
That's happened to
You
me.
got taken down live, Mel.
I did. I was talking about the science behind illusions, okay? Magic and stuff, and how it is that our brain can get tricked and all that. I had a little bit with Penn and Teller, and then I was going to talk about it. When I was playing that Penn and Teller, people in chat go, "Oh, watch it! YouTube's going to hit her." So it just went, and then I stopped
Wow.
it, and then they said, "There's a copyright concern" in the middle of my live stream, and then I'm like,
Wow.
what the heck in heck? And it was still going on Periscope. They don't care. So it's just,
And the worst thing is, it's worse at the moment.
Yeah, because of
Sassy,
the virus.
Miss Sassy has tried to go live on her channel half a dozen times, and every time within 2 minutes it's been taken down, and all she's doing is sat there talking.
How do you
Wow.
get a copyright claim for just sitting there talking?
I've had it on an intro that I made. I think Nadja will know this. That intro was flagged every time it was played for, I think, over a year. And a few seconds into the intro, where it literally showed posters that I had made of Kent Hovind, Ken Ham, one of the flat earthers, that it was struck down for visual content.
yeah.
Or at least it was demonetized because of that. And it was my content. Literally every pixel on screen was what I had made. And some sports network flagged it down every single time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've done videos where I've actually used clips out of movies and stuff like that. And I've always attributed it to the thing, oh, I got one copyright claim from it, which I queried because of fair use, and the company just let me use it straight off. The only time I've had a claim against me where they wouldn't let me was when I did a cover of Rainbow Connection. And Disney
Wow.
said, nah, you're not having that.
That's dumb.
And it's disturbing. You sounded absolutely nothing like it.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, exactly. It's deliberately crap.
I got hit once. Let me see. I've gotten hit over. You have a picture of a volcano. I had like a whole series. It was the same bot going through flagging my content, and I was being demonetized on all of that. So I had to challenge all of them. And then I had another one where what the heck was I using? I had pulled a news video about this guy who went on this news channel, and it was something to do with birds aren't real. Birds aren't real, those folks. And so I was showing this clip of this, and we were commenting on the fact that somehow they thought that this was some kind of fundraiser for like the rainforest or to save birds or something. But they were sitting there going, no, birds aren't real. They're all drones for the government to spy on you. So it's like he was legit. He looked like he walked in. Looked like he hadn't showered in days. And these like news anchors, it's just like a very, and I'm like, how did they not know? And they looked like they were genuinely shocked. It was like he flipped the script on him and said, yeah. It's like he told him this entire story because they bought a billboard out here. And so he's sitting there saying, so I think he lied to them saying, we're just trying to raise money to save the birds and stuff like that, because they started out acting like that's what they thought it was. They struck me for using that clip, even though it was we were commenting on it. We were talking about these sorts of things. This was on Oral Audacity when I was doing that show with Doc. And so we were talking about what was going on there. And I challenged it. And they're still like, yeah, nah. And I'm like, dude.
Wow. Well, I got around not needing to worry about copyrights with my music.
If you end up doing the wrong sequencing, you got Bibbly Deeps that sounded like they were a Disney tune, they'd probably copyright claim you anyway.
Probably.
I want to be Jungle Book.
Yeah, Jungle
Book.
Well, you can get strikes for all kinds of things. I did a video together with Artemis Brain Sample, where we sang along with Hitler, and that was taken down for hate speech. I made a complete fool out of Hitler, and it was taken down for hate speech. So that left me with a few questions.
All you got to say is vagina, and you'll be demonetized. Every single time I talk about vagina or pregnancy or reproduction or
Jeez, thanks, Mel.
Wait. Meryl, have you checked Twitter DM?
Oh boy.
Why do you think I put up my clitoris and testicle videos while I was demonetized?
Monetized, yeah.
Advertisers are gonna want this Viagra, dude. Viagra. What are you doing?
I thought those two were great. Scrotum!
Yeah.
Scrotum! that was probably the most fun I've made.
They're really good for the YouTube algorithm too.
No, actually, no, the clitoris one didn't do too well. Everyone go watch my clitoris one. Yeah, I was surprised.
Everyone go take a good look at Mary's clitoris, and afterwards you can
everyone needs to look at my clitoris. Yeah, and then Jen's vagina. Everyone needs to look at clitorises and vaginas.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was actually so on my channel we do talk about controversial things sometimes, and my show Sweet Can BS, one of the last episodes I had Dr. Leah Torres on, who's an OBGYN. We were talking about reproductive law and stuff like that. Had Nate Brody on, and she was on, and we were talking about that. I'm like, I already know this ain't gonna be monetized. It is. I don't know if the stars were aligned, if maybe like a moon dance or something happening, but it's like it's monetized.
Well, that's one of the streams that Mel, but Mero and I were talking about doing. We actually wanted to get a group of women together, and we'd actually have a stream where we just talk about vaginas.
Yeah, they're all shapes and sizes, and that's okay.
It's fun.
What we should do is talk about penises, since we got a lot of dudes running all the rules about reproductive system in the U.S. And all that reproductive rights. All the ladies should just get together and talk about penises.
We should woman-splain penises because
that actually sounds like a fun stream.
Deal.
Yeah, let's do it.
Anyway, do you want to go back to doing the tips and tricks with OBS, because we've been talking about penises and vaginas.
We had extra people join, so at least they won't have a clue what we're actually on about.
Oh my goodness! No, it's Friday night. If you can't talk about penises and vaginas on Friday night here, but just Saturday where y'all are though.
Genitals.
Genitals.
Yeah.
But then
okay,
you've got an urinality. What was that, Notcha?
It's just a really bad song. Something about look at my genitalia.
There was a song by King Missile called Detachable Penis. Go look it up.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah. I think it was Mara who sent it to me, actually.
Found it at a yard sale.
By the way, did you know there is a picture out there of Notch's penis?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
been
Have you made a few?
I made that.
You made his penis?
It's almost transparent.
Yeah. And flat.
It
and
is.
no testicles.
Yeah, no
No
testicles.
testicles. Oh wow.
How do you not get
Beautiful.
paper cuts, Mary?
They hurt. That's for sure.
Oh, man.
No wonder you need so much cheesecake.
It's the payment that he gets. You know, he just requires me to endure paper cuts, so I get the cheese.
Okay.
Oh,
All right, I don't think I've shown this before. I haven't found a reason to, but
No.
somebody did that up for me.
Mine is better. You got
Jen,
mine.
Jen, can you full screen that,
I
Jen?
can.
I feel like someone has been
Yeah,
very
yours
generous.
will be next.
Oh, beautiful.
I think so, yeah.
there you go.
I bet that's what I get a
Gorgeous.
copyright strike for.
Yeah.
Probably.
You're gonna get they're gonna
Oh,
take
where's
it
the
out
other
for
one?
being indecent. Jen. Oh
That's definitely indecent.
And that's Peter's.
There it is.
Jay's calling you all amateurs. He's got a stream with 43 copyright claims and 5 video blocks.
Oh,
Who said that?
Never
Not-
more
not
tap,
yet.
Jay.
Not-
Jay.
Are you going to show me as well? What,
I don't have yours saved, I don't think. Man.
gosh.
Hang
I
on.
might
Oh,
do.
I
man.
Have
can
to
show
look
you.
for it.
I can solo you, Peter. If you do it
Creators,
yourself.
funny. Oh, I don't have it there.
Gosh. I haven't listed all
Whoever's
of my
up first, I'll
Peter.
solo you.
Notcha has
Oh,
more,
I have some.
Notcha
Holy
has more
shit.
naked pictures of me than I do.
I really do. I didn't realize. Yeah, I do.
Have you
Oh
been
my
sending
god!
them
What?
to Peter?
Why have I got so many naked pictures of Peter?
You're
I have a
obsessed.
special relationship. Oh my gosh.
I am not full screening that.
Wow. I gotta get a
I've
microscope.
seen that one.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Right.
All right. Well then, very well placed flowers.
I've got a
Great.
really bad one, but I'm not going to show that.
Yeah,
I'm trying to.
You need to
Anyway,
eat
can we get back to the
Yeah, can we get back to the show? Where were we?
For the love of God, can we please go back?
Oh Jesus!
All right, there we go. That one's a good one.
It's got the logo
Only
on it.
would you actually want to go to the beach with him, Mara? He might show you up.
You know, but the good news is that when he turns to the side, people can't see him anyway.
Yeah.
So
No, the wind will pick me up and I'll be off.
yeah, it's like and the problem with social distancing at the moment, I can't hold his hand to make sure he doesn't fly.
Yeah, well, you can always tie a bit of string to his penis and use him as a kite.
That's true. That's true.
Wow. Wow.
Hold on to the penis.
Anyway, please let's get back on topic.
It's much else to discuss.
Sorry,
I
Mel.
think
You're not used to us, are you, Mel? Sorry.
I've been on the Geek Show several times.
You have.
I've been on Pink Monk's channel. Going to be on there again next Friday. So
And can I just add? So Mel had a Patreon only meetup every Saturday for a while, and during that we were doing research for Audacity. Those pictures are nothing compared to what I saw doing research
Now. Oh,
for
we're
Audacity.
shocked.
when I was trying to find fake products, because there was for a while we were doing is it a real product or not? And that was one of the challenges I would have Doc try to guess. And it was very difficult to find things that weren't real, because I would be like, okay, so is there like a vagina detox that uses, X, Y, and Z? And then I would go to the internet. And so when I was
Amazon.
doing,
Yes, there was.
So,
so
What
it's like all that. And so when I was doing my Patreon chats, I would be like, well, I'm doing research for the show. Here's what I'm looking at. And then
we all got to chip in ideas. Go look for this. And then it just was there. It was available on Amazon. You couldn't make it up stupid enough so it wasn't available.
One of my favorite products in existence is organic water.
What?
What?
It's a thing. And there's also diet water, which is also fantastic.
Uh-huh.
hydrogenated
Natural
water.
water.
Have you
Yeah.
heard of
Oh, yeah.
hydrogenated?
I've seen that.
Yeah, there's also raw water which you can buy, and it's like $20 a liter, and it's like, you assholes, because it's like got all the stuff in it.
At
That
the very least, the iron.
And it's like, if you want raw water, go to India.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop buying raw water, because raw water is the stuff that you drink, and when you drink it, you don't die.
I would think raw water would
I'm
just
gonna
be
have to
like
get running.
stuck
Yeah.
in a cucumber
Sorry.
or something. Oh,
I'm
it's
gonna
okay.
get
I
going
want to
soon.
eat
Yeah.
before
Well, I
the Leah
think
show.
I think
so,
we more
yeah.
or less. The reason why we're not talking about what we started with is because we've all sort of run out of ideas to actually talk about at the
Yeah.
moment, and we just got into the conversation part of the video. And we've been going for nearly an hour and a half. So I don't mind if people are done, because it's late for. Well, it's not late for Mel, but it's late for Peter and Dave, and it's nearly midday for Mero and Nacho. So.
I'm usually awake at this time. It's-
All right.
I do live.
So-
I live in a different time zone, but I don't act like it.
So why doesn't everyone have a bit of a shill of themselves, and then we'll I think we'll end up. So why don't we go in reverse? We'll go from Mel around this time. So Mel, shout yourself out. Everyone knows you
right,
anyway,
sure.
but shout yourself out.
Okay, so I'm Scientist Mel. I'm a science communicator and educator person. I do science content on my channel. You can find me on my website, scientistmel.com, also youtube.com/scientistmel. I write articles. I make resources for teachers and professors. So yeah, that's pretty much how you can find me on Twitter. I'm there too. So
And everyone,
Thank you.
If you're not subbed to Mel, go sub to Mel. She does absolutely amazing content, and
well, thank you.
and is a pillar of the science communicating
Aw.
YouTube community. You really are.
Thank you. I try. I try.
When I grow up, I want to be like Scientist Mel.
Aw.
I've been calling Scientist Mel the female version of Arn Ra. I don't know anyone who puts in more work to do her stuff than Mel does.
Yeah.
And that's the part that people don't see. The work that
But
goes
it's not
on
just that.
behind.
You're just so approachable, Mel.
Well, if you go on a show with Mel, she will have a script and she will have everything lined out, and it will just work. The times will line up. I got 5 minutes to talk about this, got 10 minutes to talk about it. It just works. I've never been able to do that. And she can do that with the guest too. And do the research so she can talk about the topic at hand. Yeah.
It is a lot of work, but if I didn't like it, I wouldn't do it. You know. So there you go.
Cool. Mary.
My name's Meredith. My channel is Navadia. I do stuff. Really. Usually it's atheist and science content, but occasionally I might just put something random out. I filmed last night a video on certain motivational quotes, which if you dig into it are actually quite toxic. So I'll be hopefully editing that as well. It's also my birthday tomorrow, so everyone has to say happy birthday to me for tomorrow.
Happy
It is
birthday.
tomorrow already. Happy birthday.
Thank you. So
And you-
happy birthday.
Mero, you forgot to play your intro before you did all of that.
Oh yes, and my intro is or something along the lines of
But
that.
there's no Jordan
Whenever I
Peterson
hear
picture.
that, I want to punch someone.
Yeah, I need the, and also it comes up with the Jordan Peterson picture, which there is actually a story about that. Does everyone want to know what it is?
Why not?
One. Okay. So my very, very, very first video that I put up, a year ago, because that was when my channel started. I said that I have the musical talent of a lobster, and every time I said lobster, I put up Jordan Peterson because of his weird thing with bloody lobsters. So yeah, that's just me ripping into myself because I have the musical talent of a lobster, and that's why I have pictures of Jordan Peterson up.
It's
and
not that
is
she
my
doesn't have a fetish or anything like that.
No, it's me ripping into myself and Jordan Peterson at the same time. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure if I change that now, I'd lose subscribers.
Jordan Peterson racist the frog because he sounds like. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Kermit the Frog thing. Yeah.
Unless you had somebody actually do a music for your videos that actually included you doing that in it.
I think you need to get Jordan Peterson to do it.
Oh, that would be fucking awesome. Have we actually got somebody in the community who can impersonate him?
Ocean. Friggin' Ocean.
Yeah.
Have you... Oh my god, it's insane.
Mary, why don't you ask him if he'll do an intro for you with the booby doops?
I will. I so will. I absolutely will. I will get on to that as soon as we get off the stream.
Yes, I want to see that. Nacha.
Hey, I'm Not Your Witness. I do not your witnessy things. Find me at Not Your Witness.
Yay, Nacha!
Nacha. Is this where I can put in a request?
If you want.
What exactly a notcher thing is?
No, he knows what I'm talking about.
Well, at the moment, I don't. What are you talking about?
Does it involve knee pads?
Wow.
It should involve fire, but it doesn't. Roasts.
Roasts.
Oh,
Oh, you
wow.
want a roast?
Oh,
yeah.
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 You should do that.
Do we need to go and bug the geek room to bring you back? Because
I'm waiting on the geek room to start it up.
Oh gosh.
Mel, next time you're on the geek room, tell them roasts.
Yeah.
We want roasts.
They were like, "You should be on the roast thing." I'm like, I suck at that. I probably have nothing but science roasts.
So
we could roast each other, Mel.
I 2 days ago I watched all of Not Just Roasts all over again, and they're just brilliant. If you want to be insulted, have Nacha do it, because he'll make it into an art.
And I know Jen's got some good ones.
Oh yeah, but I'm obnoxious.
That's fine.
Have you not seen my last video? Although he deserved it in my just.
He deserved every single
Oh,
single.
You go on about somebody. You talk about a kid who's died of cancer like that. You deserve every fucking thing I can think of to say nasty about. Yeah. Dave.
Hello. I'm mostly arguing with people on Twitter, but I'm doing some weird quiz thing at the moment during the day at 2 p.m. UK time.
It's awesome fun, and if you
too early. It's in the middle of the night for me.
You need to be in the chat watching it because it's so much fun. Peter.
Your timing, brilliant.
Yeah, good timing.
Yeah,
I
did that deliberately.
My name's Peter. I started off running a channel called Gonna Go For It. Did it by myself. Now have 3 amazing co-hosts: Lilith Liberated, Robert Reed, and Artemis Brain Sample, who also all have their own channel, which I think people should subscribe to. Robert doesn't have any content yet, but that's coming. And I really think that everyone should subscribe to Robert Reed's channel. The link is in the description of our videos, if I'm not correct. So, and other than that, I do some occasional artwork for people
You do awesome artwork, Peter.
in the
Oh,
community.
He's very kind to do my stuff, and I'm just like,
Well, yeah. So the way that I do my artwork is I can't support everyone on Patreon. So what I do is I'll just make them free artwork instead. So that will lighten the load. They don't have to pay for anything. I'll be more than happy to make it.
And that's something, if you're thinking of starting out in the community, ask people in the community, because a lot of us do a lot of things, and some of us have spare time, and occasionally we will help people out. I've made introduction videos for people before their titles, screens, and things like that. And it's one of those things. I've got I might not have a lot of money to give to people, but I do have spare time at the moment, so I will help people.
Basically, she's saying none of us sleep.
Yeah, none of us sleep.
well, it's like one of the things I managed to crowdfund my computer, which was amazing, and part of that was that I wanted to be able to use it to help other people as well. So I do produce RJ Downard's show, Evolution Hour, every Wednesday with him and Jackson Wheat. And so I just show up and I just put it together for them because they were having really bad internet problems and they couldn't get the thing together. I'm like, you know what? So I just sit there and I do stuff. So I try to help smaller channels too. So if you have a smaller channel and you need a little help, come see me and I'll try. I'm really busy with my day job right now, but I will do my best to help you. And if I can't help you, I'll find somebody who can. So I'll at least,
So
that.
never feel afraid to reach out to anybody, even big creators. I mean, aside from Mel, none of us are huge here. Oh, I mean, maybe Notcher. Oh, Mero's catching up to Notcher though.
I'm almost there.
Yeah, you're almost
I've
there.
been stuck on 1650 for the past 3 days, which is annoying.
I really hope you stay stuck on it there for a while too.
I want you to start producing friggin' videos again, Notcher.
Hey, I've started to get back into it. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, get you a new computer and you do fuck all.
Yeah, exactly.
You did an absolutely
I've had a lot of
unique
trouble
one a
with
few
this
days
so
ago.
far.
Yeah, to be honest, you scared the hell out of me with the last one you did, or what was it?
I mean, all that religious
Yeah,
stuff,
the
no one
right
believed.
video.
But when you said that Mero had ended it over cheesecake, we all bought it.
You're like, what?
What the heck?
You'll have to go watch my last video, Mel. It's only like 5 minutes long.
It's only 5 minutes. I hope I have a long enough attention span.
The first 30 seconds is like just ads, so you can skip that. So.
You can skip that.
Hey, it's always
Okay.
ads at the beginning of Notcher's videos.
So,
But
and
Jen
that
with one N did
reminds
that.
me, I do want to do a shout out for Jen with one N, because she's in pretty much all of Notch's last videos as well. She did a lot of stuff for a lot of content creators, made some cool animated videos, but she does have a really cool channel herself.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All gens are cool. We are all fucking amazing.
Regardless of how many
I
I'm
ends.
not sure I agree with that.
I think there's almost as many gens as there are Daves.
Probably.
We could have a Jen and Dave con and not have anybody named anything else there, I reckon.
Well, screw you.
You could be an honorary Jen, Mary.
Anyway, I do really got to run.
All right.
running
See you,
short on time
Nodja.
here. I really
And
wanna
I'm going to
eat,
wind
so
up. Thank you,
I'll catch you all a
everyone.
bit.
Catch
Thanks
you later,
for having
Nodja.
Bye,
Cheers.
Nodja.
Love you all. All right, I have to go.
No, it's not. Catch that. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you to all my guests. This has been so much fun, and I hope people have learned a few things. If there's got any questions, hit us up on Twitter. Ask any of us for help. Reach out. People will help you. We will find time. We will sit with you. We will go on our private stream and talk to you through things if we've got the time for it, because that's what the community is about, is helping each other. So please reach out if you want to get started. Ask questions. Don't be afraid of it.
Can I please also mention that Surus had his channel hacked. He still hasn't got access to it. But if you go if you Google Surus, should be two channels, one that's got 39,000 subscribers and one that's got like 6,000. Just go and subscribe to the 6,000 one.
He's created a new one.
Yeah, no, it was actually given to him by Telltale.
Yeah.
So this, just to give you an idea of how awesome this community is, Telltale gave Surus his monetized channel after he got hacked and lost control of his big channel. Wow. So hats off to Telltale. Bloody hell. Like this, he's just wow. So everyone go subscribe to Surus's new channel. And if you're, for some strange reason, not subscribed to Telltale, go subscribe to him and watch a couple of their videos in a row, because they, both Telltale and Surus, just to get the algorithm pumping for those two people. So, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. And remember, subscribe, like, all that, and especially to all these lovely people in here. All right. Thank you very much, and catch you later.
Bye.